One of the things I've realized after helping hundreds of travelers plan their trips to Japan is that I can often tell who's likely to have an amazing trip before they even arrive in Japan. That's because there are a few characteristics they seem to share in common. Interestingly, it has very little to do with where they are visiting or when they are traveling. Even though those are often the decisions people spend the most time thinking about when planning a trip to Japan. Instead, it comes down to the way they approach planning from the very beginning. They may seem like small things, but I've seen them make a remarkable difference to how meaningful and enjoyable a trip becomes. The good news is that none of them are difficult. In fact, once you are aware of them, they are the things anyone can easily apply while planning a trip to Japan. So today, I'd like to share the 3 characteristics I consistently see in travelers who go on to have the trip they were hoping for and make the most of their time in Japan. My hope is that by the end of this episode, you'll recognize which of these you are already doing, identify a few opportunities to strengthen your own planning, and feel more confident creating a trip that's truly aligned with the experience you'd like to have. The first characteristic I constantly see in travelers who go on to have an amazing trip is that they are very specific about the types of experiences they are looking for. A lot of people tell me things like, I want amazing experiences, or I'd like to eat great food, or I want to stay somewhere really nice. While I appreciate that you are trying to describe what you're looking for, those descriptions are still very broad. Then there are travelers who come to me and say something like, we'd like to see some of the Japan's major highlights, but we'd also like to explore quieter places and include some slower paced time. Or, I'd really like my children to experience traditional Japanese culture and I've been thinking about trying these particular crafts. Can you see the difference? The second group already has a much clearer picture of what they want their trip to feel like. Japan offers an incredible variety of experiences, and the travelers who have the most memorable trips usually know what matters most to them. They have a sense of the balance they are looking for, the scenery they'd like to experience, and the types of activities they are genuinely excited about. I can certainly help you discover experiences you may not have considered and help you clarify your interest. But ultimately, only you know what kind of trip you are hoping to have. And the clearer you are about that, the easier it becomes for us to bring together experiences that truly suit you and shape a trip that feels uniquely yours. The second characteristic I see in travelers who make the most of their time in Japan is that they are not afraid to seek support. Believe it or not, many of them are experienced travelers and capable planners. They've traveled to many countries before and are comfortable organizing their own trips. But when it comes to Japan, many quickly realize there is far more to consider than they initially expected. That's why they choose to seek support. Not because they cannot plan the trip themselves, but because they are genuinely keen to have the best experience possible. They want to understand the options they may otherwise miss and make sure the decisions they are making are aligned with the kind of trip they are hoping to have. That's because they understand that thoughtful planning can have a huge impact on how they experience a country, and they are willing to invest the time and effort to make that happen. So, whenever they are unsure about something, they ask questions. They don't make assumptions. Even if it's a small detail they could probably work out once they are in Japan, they'd rather clarify or confirm it beforehand. And After working closely with travelers throughout their planning journey, seeing how they make decisions and hearing about their experiences once they return home, I've noticed that those small details are often what create the biggest difference. They allow people to travel with more confidence, more flexibility, and a much clearer understanding of what to expect, so they can simply focus on enjoying Japan. Last but not least, the third characteristic I see in travelers who come home feeling they experienced the Japan they were hoping for is that they prepare themselves mentally for visiting Japan. For them, planning isn't just about putting together itinerary or booking trains and accommodation. They understand that planning a trip to Japan also means preparing themselves for the experience. They know that Japan isn't simply another destination where they can assume everything works the same way as it does back home. But rather than feeling anxious about that, they spend time learning about Japanese culture, values, and social expectations before they travel. They arrive with genuine curiosity about how people live, what different customs mean, and how they can better understand and respect their local culture. In fact, many of them start planning early, often 6 to 12 months before their trip, or sometimes even earlier. One of the reasons they do that is because they know planning doesn't finish once the itinerary is complete and the logistics are booked. They continue learning about Japan throughout the months leading up to their trip, gradually building the knowledge and confidence that allows them to appreciate what they are experiencing once they arrive. Rather than trying to understand everything while they are traveling or rushing to prepare at the last minute, they've already done much of that work beforehand. That gives them the headspace to notice more, immerse themselves in the experiences, and enjoy the unexpected moments that naturally happen while traveling. And I think that's one of the biggest differences I see. The travelers who have the most meaningful experiences don't just prepare their trip, they prepare themselves. So let's quickly recap the 3 characteristics I constantly see in travelers who create more meaningful and memorable trips. First, they are clear about the types of experiences they are looking for. Second, they are not afraid to seek support and ask questions. And third, they don't just prepare their trip, they prepare themselves. If you'd like to more insights like this, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And if you'd like personalized guidance to help you plan your trip to Japan, you are always welcome to connect with me on Instagram at japan.experts. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end. I can't wait to share more Japan travel insights with you in the next episode.